I know it's gonna happen.
It's all good. Hey, man.
How you doing, Larry?
I'm all right, man. How are you doing? You gonna lick my hand?
I know she's no. I'm not looking. This is so. We have a guest. I know for the people who listen to the podcast, we have a guest that won't be speaking. Her name is Skyla.
Who said she won't speak?
Oh, she better not speak.
Hey, I'm Skyla.
If not, we're gonna put her in the back.
My name's Skyla. You ever watch that? Did you watch Phineas and Ferb?
Phineas and Ferb, yeah.
They had an episode where they built a machine to talk to animals. I remember that. It was like, I would like to have that machine.
That seems to be, and I guess maybe, animals are a common thing, but, a lot of different properties tend to do that. Talking to animals or
Because you're curious. Like, have you never been curious to know what animals say, James?
No.
So you never once thought, you never been like driving on the road or just sitting outside and you saw a squirrel and it's like, I wonder what they're saying.
Not once.
So you never heard of some loud birds outside your window and you want to know what they were saying?
Shut up. I'm trying to sleep. That's what I'm thinking. Because they be up 2, 3 in the morning. What do y'all have to talk about? And I
was on the phone with my mom earlier because I was outside working. And there was some birds chirping, and she was like, "Is that a bird?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "It sounded like it was real close, like it was right on your."
Yeah.
Cause I guess she thought I was at home. She sounded like it was on your dresser. I said, "No, I'm outside working."
What's crazy is that I remember when I was staying in my studio apartment that there was a tree like kind of right outside my window, but I didn't think it was close. But them birds, like you said, they sounded like real close to the point they almost kept me up or woke me up sometimes. So when the apartment complex switched ownership management, they cut that tree down, and man, I was so happy. I know the birds ain't have a home anymore, but still.
I was like, that's kind of cruel, Jay.
I didn't do it.
I mean, I didn't feel bad when I ran over that one squirrel, but that's neither here nor there. I hit it and kept going. Question.
Go for it.
If you had to choose between hearing what animals can think or say, or hearing the thoughts of women, what would you pick?
So I feel I'm going to stick with animals. Wait, no. Because, okay, so, obviously the women's going to be a double-edged sword.
What makes it a double-edged sword?
Obviously, the movie, What Women Want. I don't remember it. I maybe watched it once or twice, but obviously there are some advantages because you can know what your woman wants. But at the same time, women are sneaky, and there's a lot of things that I'm sure and I'm sure same thing with men, but there's a lot of things that they think that's not said.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of things I think that I don't say.
Exactly, but I feel like women are just worse.
I can't go on the limb with you, James. But
I know I'm the resident woman hater on here.
you have a gold membership to the He Woman Man Hater Club?
Yeah, He Man Woman Hater.
He Man Woman. See, I don't even know what it's called. Unless I'm not a part of it.
Listen, I got my badge. I'll bring it next time.
I don't know, like, because I kind of would like to know, not even for the standpoint of like trying to use it to my advantage, but just out of pure. But I feel like also too, because I feel like we had to put a stipulation on it. Okay. So let's say a day.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Then I would say women.
Okay, because I feel like if I did it for a day, it would be cool. But after a while, like longer than a day, I'm like, all right, this is especially because I don't really be around a lot of women. Because my job is usually just me, usually by myself and me with a coworker who's a guy.
Yeah.
So we don't really run into a lot of women out in the work field. So.
And if you do, they like, man, stop messing up my yard, get away from her. No, it's probably more men. Yeah.
But at the same time, I would like to know what dogs and animals be saying, man.
I mean, so maybe because most of my life I haven't had a pet. it would help knowing when a dog needs to go out for bathroom and all that stuff. But obviously, I mean, they already do things to let you know.
But I ain't even looking at it from a pet perspective, just animals, just random animals in general.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, so I remember I was in Chicago and I was driving down, I think it was Halsted. And so I saw this dog. Mm-hmm. No, I saw this dog and it was walking. It was walking towards the street. And I'm like, okay, it's going to look. It didn't look this way. But I was already, I was a speed demon back in Chicago. So.
So you're not a speed demon here?
Not on regular streets.
Oh,
not
okay.
on. Okay.
All right.
There's too many stipulate. Anyway, so there were no cars around me, so I was able to like kind of angle myself to avoid the dog and not be in danger of any other cars. But the dog still, for some reason, wasn't paying attention to any cars, and then it just hit the side of my car. So that is one time that I wish I would have known what the heck that dog was thinking. Maybe just it's like I'm done with all my living.
Did I tell you about that time when I was younger? I had a BB gun and I used to try to shoot squirrels. When I tell you, I don't know if squirrels are bulletproof or I just sucked. That squirrel, he took so many BBs before he just went down. I don't know if I was just missing.
Yeah.
Or if I was hitting him and he just was like, that don't hurt. I don't know. I don't know which one it was. I just know I shot a full clip and he just kept going.
Larry, are you a psychopath?
No.
Because that's one of the early signs.
No. It's the typical. Here's the thing, James. You also gotta looking through my eyes of where I came from. I'm in a town of like less than 3,000 people. Everything shuts down at 9 o'clock. You got to make your own entertainment, man. Plus, in the South, hunting is a big thing.
That's true.
Like, as a young boy, you want to hunt. I want to get a gun to hunt. So the first thing you can hunt is a bird or a squirrel because they're everywhere.
Okay, because I was the hunting, you bring up a good point. I was going to bring up something like, is there any other animals you thought about torturing?
Oh, no. Okay. I didn't torture him. I shot him.
More than one time.
He died until I shot him some more.
More than one time. I would say that's torture.
I also got shot in the thigh with a BB, too. There's the other kid I was hanging out with. He shot me in the thigh with a BB. It hurt, but it hurt. I'm just going to say it hurt.
Did that hurt more than a paintball?
Yes.
Okay.
But only because with the BB it would hit straight skin as opposed to the paintball. You have padding and clothing and stuff like that. What's up?
I did tell my girlfriend the story when we went paintballing and then we went back to back. We had to do the 10 paces, and I dropped down to the ground. I almost shot something I shouldn't have shot.
Was that Elijah that you went?
Oh, was it? I don't know why I always thought that was you.
I know I was there, but I don't know if it was me that was in it though.
Okay, so it was. I guess it was Elijah then.
It might have been Elijah, because it was somebody else there.
I think Dexter was there too, maybe, or. Yeah, it was at least one more person.
What's his name?
Kenneth?
Bobby.
Really?
I think Bobby was there.
Okay.
I think it was Bobby. Yeah, Kenneth did come too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was a separate time or the same time. But I know he did come one time.
No.
He was the only white guy there.
Yeah.
With red hair.
That was back when I was really going hard trying to get everybody at work to do functions together.
James, man. you are the designated work fun coordinator. Did you want to start a bowling team?
I did, and they said that. What did they say? They said we needed enough people for 8 teams, I think it was. And I was like, well, what's the minimum we can do? And there was like maybe.
Why do we need so many people?
Just to make it worth their time to shut down lanes and to just for us like the league.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm confused. So, if we're joining a league,
So okay. At that time, there were no leagues for us to join.
Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, if we join a league, why do we need to have enough for a league? If we're just gonna join the league.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't know if they said we needed 22 people at minimum for a league. No. I think it ended up being 12 because I asked them like they said normally 22, and I was like, well, what's the bare minimum you'll let us? They said 12. And I was like, we got more than 12 people.
That's not gonna happen. Jack.
Yeah, but
how many people can you have on the field during a softball game?
Softball 10.
Okay. How many people on our softball team that played were actually part of the company?
That's why I just gave up on it. Because I was thinking like I think there was maybe 6 of us that committed that would have went. I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
But like 32 people signed up.
Yep.
I never understood because to this day I never understood that because like when you sign up you had to pay money.
Yep.
So people paid money, signed up, and never came to a practice or a game. Why pay the money? Why give away money?
My favorite, I will say, I won't say favorite, but one good thing that came out of it was the shirt. I was able to get a uniform shirt, even though it don't fit, nowhere near fit me anymore. But I still wear it as like my undershirt.
I still got mine too. Yeah. I don't think I've tried it on in a while though. I kind of wish it had like a team name on it though.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when I looked at it the other day, it's just like a generic, just 55.
It's that one path.
And it has one path on it.
Yeah.
Because I was showing Veronica, and it was like, hey, this is our softball jersey shirt, and it just looks like a shirt with a number and long sleeves and one path. Which the sleeves aren't even full sleeves; they're like quarter sleeves.
Yep.
So I don't know. It is what it is. I think you were there when I brought her. Like my cousin niece. She's my cousin's daughter, but I call her my niece.
Softball?
Yeah, I brought her to one of the games.
Yeah, I think so.
She plays softball. I've been meaning to go watch her, but I hadn't been yet.
Yeah.
I should text her and say, hey. I'm probably not going to text her.
We should go to just a softball field and just
hit balls.
Yep, and catch.
Then somebody got to go get the balls.
That's very true. That's one reason that I never really got good at basketball because after you shoot, somebody got to see a rebound.
I don't know. I was going to work last week or was it Monday? My day's off. I don't know. Either way it go, I was coming down, getting ready to turn left or whatever at the light. And I saw a dude in the truck. He had a dog in the back of the truck. He was just getting it. The dog was just in the wind. I was like, how I feel about that?
I can't trust, in the back of a bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't trust. Like, I already, for the most part, like, I got to the point I stopped, like, really looking at her all the time. And so I just happened to look at her that one time, and she was almost out the window. So I couldn't trust a dog, this dog, any dog in the back of a bed.
I mean, I've done it. Like I've ridden, roding. I don't know, in the back of a truck. But I am also a human.
I was gonna say, have you thought about jumping out while it was dry? Yeah,
I didn't. It was cold though. It was very cold.
I remember when I was real little. My mom had a friend who had a motorcycle. I don't know. I may have told you the story. She wanted to get on a motorcycle. I wanted to get on a motorcycle, but she didn't want me to get on there with him by myself. So this is probably whatever. I probably told the story anyway. This is probably more dangerous. So he was driving, she was behind him, and I was behind her. And I got so scared, I jumped off the back of that thing while it was going.
What was your thought process?
I felt like my life was more in danger on that thing, which I was little. I was real little, so I just couldn't really. What's the word? I don't know. It just seemed like jumping off was the better option.
You gave into your intrusive thoughts.
That's most definitely what happened.
Your brain said, "It's not safe here. Jump off." You said, "All right, that's what I'll do."
And of course, by the time my mom noticed, I'm already off, so I'm safe.
Did I tell you about the time? I think I told you about the time when I was teaching myself how to ride a bicycle. I tell you about that. I used to ride it down the hill, my grandmother's.
That sounds like a
driveway.
horrible idea.
So it was at my grandmother's house.
Just the driveway is okay. I thought you meant like a hill.
No.
Okay.
No. So at her house, we pulled into a house, the driveway, which was all gravel. Mm-hmm. So it would come like it had you go down the hill and the house sat at the bottom, whatever, right? So I didn't know how to like steer and pedal. So what I would do was I would just take it up to the top of the driveway and just ride it down.
Yeah.
To try to learn how to steer, and then I tried, I learned how to pedal or whatever. Because if I failed, it was just in the grass. You don't care.
Yeah, not bad.
So I went up to the top of the driveway one day, and I was like, all right, cool. Do the same thing I've been doing. Little did I know, my grandmother was out in the yard talking to the neighbors.
Oh, my goodness.
So my grandmother, she was every bit of like 60, 70 at this point, and she walked with a cane. So I get to the top of the driveway, I get to rolling down. So I'm doing pretty good. Next thing I know, I start wobbling a little bit, and I didn't know how to like brake. And I look up, I'm going dead directly to beeline towards her. When I tell you, I hit her, smack dab, and ran her over. All you heard was slap. She fell back, skirt flew up.
I'm thinking.
It was a horrible sight.
I'm thinking the title of this episode should be Psychopathic Larry.
What? I didn't do it on purpose, man.
Poor defenseless squirrels, and poor defenseless grandmas.
So the squirrel was on purpose. My grandmother was not on purpose. That was an accident.
I know.
I couldn't steer. I didn't know how to steer because I didn't know. Like I knew how to steer like subtly, but I didn't know how to like a big turn or whatever. Yeah. And
then okay. I'm saying this as a joke. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be making light of the situation.
You say it.
Okay. She should have been out there teaching you. That's what she get. Nope. I can't finish
my grandmother wasn't that type. Like my grandmother was the type of. I don't even be honest with you. I don't even know if she knew how to ride a bike.
It's surprising what our grandparents didn't do when
She was older. I mean, she made though, but it wasn't like I saw her just ride the bike.
Yeah. Because grandparents. I don't want to say are known. I'm gonna say are known for not finishing like grammar school.
Yeah.
And just a whole bunch of stuff. I'm surprised they even know how to drive.
I just thought about something.
What?
Since you I don't want to say it.
Go ahead.
Because you already called it a psychopathic Larry. But this wasn't me.
Okay.
This is my grandmother.
Okay.
And I can see you saying how it runs in the family.
I'm not saying anything else about it.
I just remember there was a time because we talking about grandmother shit. But I used to ride in a car with her.
Yeah.
And I remember we was pulling up because she used to park behind her house, and there was a cat there. And I remember she ran over the cat, parking. But she didn't know she ran over the cat. I knew she did. She was like, oh man, I pulled up too far. So she backed over the cat again. And then she's like, I need to straighten up the car. And then pull back over a third time.
Are you sure she didn't know?
She did, because when I told her about it, she was like, what cat? I was like, the cat you ran over. I ain't run over no cat.
That's so crazy. That's fun. That's something you see in a movie.
I felt so bad for that cat. I was like,
some people would say cats deserve it. Plus they got 9 lives, so she only took out 3.
But what if that cat was Puss in Boots though?
That's true.
And he was on his last wish.
That's true. Such a good movie. I
was finna do the whistle, but I can't do it. Like I can whistle, but I can't do that whistle.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Like it's, I can't do it. I can't do it, James.
I wish I could remember the whistle so I can.
It's like
that's what. Okay.
That's the tone, but I can't do it whistling wise.
So the first thing that came to my mind was like a Wild West. And I was like, that's not right.
It's similar, but I can't. I can't. I don't know if I can't. Now I'm struggling to remember how to whistle.
One day. So, okay. Your bucket list.
Okay.
What are some things that are on your bucket list?
You know, James, I don't really have a bucket list.
Okay.
I feel like I should have one now. No, I have a bucket list. You just want to know some of the things?
Yeah, just it don't have to be a lot.
I mean, travel more is, I feel like that's a given. You want to know one white person thing on my bucket list?
Okay. Just you done already started.
No, I'm gonna say it. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I guess it is a white person thing. Like, I do want to skydive.
Okay. All right. That's you know, for some reason, even though you started with the white person thing, I was like, it didn't cross my mind.
You thinking about something out there?
I was thinking, you know what? Actually, I was thinking. So I guess it was something.
Like bungee jumping?
No. You know, like the glider suits.
Oh no.
Yeah. So for some reason, I went there and
Base
not
jumping.
skydiving. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, I like here's the thing. Okay, skydiving is on my bucket list, but it's not a. This is probably gonna sound contradictory. It's not a have to thing, but it's on the list.
Yeah. Like you're not going out of your way to try to go do it.
Yeah, but at some point in time I would like to.
So, okay, I wasn't even thinking about these things, but skiing is one of my things, which is so weird because like I think that's safer than skydiving.
Oh yeah, I just know I will hurt myself.
Well, I take that back. Cause skydiving, like you can fall, run into trees, run into people, but skydiving, there's only one thing that can go wrong. So anyway,
I just don't know if I want somebody strapped to my back.
I think I want to say that you maybe have to when you first start.
You do?
Yeah. Is that the one thing that's holding you back?
No, it's not at all. It's just like I said, it's something I'll do eventually one day, but it's not a must do right now.
Maybe you should throw it out. Maybe Dexter go with you.
He might.
Yeah, I mean he's having fun. He's traveling. He's stepping out of his comfort zone.
Wait, Dexter losing weight.
Yeah. Oh man.
He just glide through the wind particles and just fall down.
Rain just go around him.
Meanwhile, I just come catching all the wind. I think what I would probably do to start off would be like the wind machine thing.
Yes, I really enjoyed that. As a matter of fact,
is there one close by?
I was looking it up. I think they did open one close by. I'm gonna have to look it up again.
Oh, speaking of new stuff opening,
okay.
Have you been to the cereal bar yet in Huntsville?
No.
All you can eat cereal?
So, I'm trying to cut down on sugar, so this is not the right time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But that sounds so good.
I just thought I'd mention it to you.
I know they got the you said where we live. I know there's more than one though.
Mm-hmm.
There's that revolving sushi place over there by 88 Buffet. They still haven't opened. I don't know if they're ever going to open.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. So 88 Buffet.
Yeah, not 88 Buffet though. Like maybe 5 or 6.
The Pier Seafood?
No.
Pier 88?
No, so this in the same, complex, the same strip as 88 Buffet. Maybe 5, 6, maybe even 8 to 10 stores down. There's a place called like Q Sushi or something like that. Q something.
And it's supposed to revolve.
Yeah, like it has the conveyor belt sushi.
Oh, Jesus. Man. I'm thinking about the building.
Oh, no.
How about I say 88 is in a one-level plaza? Like, what is going to be revolving, Jay?
Musical businesses. This month they're going to be here. They're just trying to share. Come get your pizza today. Come get your Crocs tomorrow.
Why it's so funny? They're going to be in nothing but noodles the next day.
Yep.
They're going to go to the abandoned Burlington's building after that. Oh, man. Oh, musical business chairs. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
There was something else we talked about a while ago I was going to comment on. I don't remember.
What's on your bucket list?
That's what it is. So, all right, nothing major. Mine is going to be, so I want to learn how to whistle with my fingers. I want to learn how to backflip. Nope.
Let's stop right there.
Okay.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Because you're not just gonna say that and then just speed past it.
That's not. I mean,
Whistle with your fingers.
you know how people like do it this way,
oh,
this way.
James.
Okay, all right.
You just said it like it was something completely different.
Like I can airbend.
I don't know. all you said was, I want to whistle with my fingers, and that's, my mind didn't think if anything to do with what you were talking about.
I got you. So what's interesting, those two things. I was dating a girl, you know who she is, I'm not going to say any names.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was simping real hard in a lot of things. I would like, you know, have some, I don't know if you do it or used to do it, but sometimes people are like, yeah, I like to do that too. I say, you know. Mm-hmm. So thinking back, we know that I was definitely the simp in this relationship, but I remember when I told her about my bucket list, she was like, oh, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. And I'm thinking like, these are things that people just like, if you tell somebody like what you want to do. So I'm like, no, ain't no way. These two things are things that you want to do before you die.
Like I can understand, like let's like say for instance, like I have, let's say, 12 items on my bucket list, and I tell you all 12. You may hear 2 or 3 like, oh, I would like to do this, but not all. Not if it's above 8 and 9. Okay, now you just you just bandwagoning now. Exactly. That's what you're doing. And, well, and you thought of that too? Like, come on, man.
And there was a third. I can't think of what it is, but so skiing is definitely one of them. I wanna. So what's the? So I think I went parasailing.
Would you do the? I don't think it's because parasailing is one where you ride the. Or is parasailing one where they strap you in and you fly up in the air?
Yeah, that's parasailing.
Okay. What am I thinking about then?
So I can't remember what I think. So jet skiing, I remember, is what I originally wanted to do, but for some reason I thought that's what parasailing was. So when I said I want to go parasailing, they strapped me up and put. I was like, this ain't what I wanted to do. But I was happy I did it. It was like it was very peaceful up there, quiet, and you know I got to see like dolphins and stuff in the air. And then they were like, hey, you want to dip your feet in the water? I was like, my better judgment is saying no, but I'm out here. I need to do this. Let's do this. So I did it, and that, you know, it wasn't bad.
Did they have to, like, how did the water feel?
It was fun. Like, it wasn't.
Because I imagine, were you going like fast when they did it?
No, they slowed down.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it was fine.
I'm still trying to think, because, like, okay, what's the thing where you have, like, a boat, and you stand on the side of it, and you have, like, not a flag, but what's it called?
I know, like a sail?
Yeah, a sail. You're holding on to it.
So I think that's parasailing. No, or what did I just say? Paragliding? I don't know. But
I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
That is one of the things that I wanted to do. And the one thing I don't want to do is like be on the back. I don't know if it's like jets. No, jet skiing is just a...
Oh, you glide right on the water?
Yeah, that's not what I want to do. You can keep that. Because water is hard. And I mean, obviously it's water, but like if you hit it the wrong way, it's going to hurt.
That's what I was asking about when you said you want to put your toes in it, because I was like, I know... If you hit the water fast enough, it feels like you're hitting the ground. Yep. And so if they're going like, hey, you want to touch the water? Like, if I'm going at the same speed, like, I'm not going to have legs anymore. Right. So, yeah, I don't know what it's called.
So I'm So what's paragliding? Is paragliding a thing?
From when I looked it up, they showed me paragliding. It looks similar to like parachuting. But because you had, you know, like it's just basically like some of them, you know, you have like the little triangle ones where you ride it.
Yep, okay, yep, that makes sense.
But some of these just look like regular parachutes too.
And you would think, you know, as big as I was into Power Rangers, the very first thing they did was skydiving, and one of them was skydiving on a skate. I was called a snowboard. Mm-hmm. So you would think that. Oh, I want to do that when I grow up. No. Hell no.
Would you go bungee jumping? I know I mentioned it earlier, but would you do
it? That's a big no for me.
What's your hesitation?
So, I feel like there are things that black people, and I'm not trying to say that you're not black. I feel like there are things that black people just would not risk. And sure, there are outliers. There are some people that aren't like. So me, I'm 99% sure that if I say Candyman and Bloody Mary in the mirror, nothing's going to happen.
But you're not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it either.
Though.
Yeah.
No.
So I know the statistics. I know skydiving and bungee jumping is safe, but that's not one of those things that I just want to risk.
For me, bungee jumping is one of those things where it's kind of like, I want to do it, but I know I probably would never do it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like where, as many times as I see it on like whatever, like a movie, show, video, whatever, I'm like, man, that looks like something I don't want to do.
Yep.
But there's always a thought in the back of my head like, I wonder. But then there's also the other thought of like, I mean, I ain't no small dude.
That's one of the things I be thinking too.
How about to trust that the rope is gonna pull me back?
They may have a limit too, because I know the jumpy thing at the mall. I remember, I think their limit is like 175 pounds, and I used to do it with my daughter. And then one year they were like, "You can't do this anymore."
They matumbled you?
Yeah.
Said,
no.
Would you play slam ball?
Which one is that?
Where they play basketball on the trampolines?
Okay, no. I mean, yeah, no. Okay, so for some reason, I cannot trampoline anymore. Like so.
So what do you mean you can't trampoline?
It is so sad. It's just like I can't cut on the lines. So I would go out there and I would initially jump, but when I come back down, for some reason I cannot put two and two together on when to bend my legs correctly to come back up.
So do you fall or something every time?
Either like I hit it and I crumble, or I hit it and my legs are too straight and I don't go. Like it's not. I don't have the timing right. I cannot trampoline anymore.
I'm not laughing because you can't. It's the way you explain it. Because it's like when I hear you talk about it, all I can think about is like you being a kid, being the best trampoline person in the world, and then now you get older, it's like, I can't trampoline anymore. I used to be #1 in the state.
And one thing that really, so I used to pitch. I used to pitch baseball. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was a good pitcher. I just keep it at that. And then one day, I remember I went to the fair, and I used to see on TV like when people like they'll throw the ball, and for some reason they like go straight down to the ground. And I'm like, how the hell is that possible? I know. So one day, like as I got older, it happened, and I'm like, give me the ball back.
I did it, James.
How?
I was at the shop. It was before Houston left and before old buddy died. So it was me, Justin, and Houston at the shop. This is before. It's like this. I think it was before we even started practicing.
Yeah.
So they just, for some reason, we just had like softballs always around the shop, whatever. So we just had extra time, sometimes as we do. Not all the time because we work hard all the time. And so there's like, let's play a game and see who can get it as closest to like this spot on the wall.
Yep.
So Houston went, jumped it, boom. Justin, boom. My turn. I said, yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. The whole time I'm thinking, I have not thrown a ball and I don't know when. Like, I've tossed the ball, like, hey, like, what's up? Like, but like just throwing it full, like with my whole, I haven't done it in years.
Right.
They gave the ball. When I tell you, I leaned back, I said, It landed about 20 feet in front of me and bounced. I was like, I'm going to disqualify myself, guys.
So listen, did they tease you about that as much as they teased me about getting hit in the head?
Yeah, I mean, I got teased. Obviously not as much because, like, even up until the day, like, when I say to the day he passed, he still teased you quite a bit. Yeah. They after that day, I never heard about it.
And I want to say, like, I'm not trying to toot my horn. Like, I can take a joke, and so I mean, like, even though I thought it was funny. Like, it's a funny, like, if you obviously when it happened, when you're in a position, it's not funny, but when looking back on it, it's funny.
Or even not only that, but like even when they did talk about it, it wasn't like, here comes James, let's talk about it for like an hour straight.
Yeah.
It was like here's a joke or two, and it was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like we're gonna talk about it for the next 30 minutes. Like it wasn't that. But yeah, no, it was probably one of the saddest days in my adult life, man.
I'm glad you can talk about it freely.
I didn't feel like what makes it so worth. I can't speak for you because I know you said your moment when you was doing it at the little fair thing or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, what made the moment so bad is because I used to be an athlete.
Yep.
And I was like, this is what I'm reduced to now.
And what is it? Like, because obviously it's not just us. So is it getting old?
It can't be because the other two people did fairly fine. And
That's true.
Maybe, but then again, they do like okay. One played on a softball league team regularly. The other one was just worked out 18 days a week. So like I don't know. It's just
I got you.
I don't know because me and Houston even had a foot race, and I almost beat him.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was like maybe 20, 30 feet. But I was also running like work boots too. But I just remember them saying like, they never said, "Oh man, you almost beat me." This is how you know when people trying to find something. It's
yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't know you was that fast. Not like, oh man, like well, you surprised me.
Yeah. You kept up.
Yeah. All right. Cool, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, you might have been out there, but I was racing Brian's drone. Were you out there for that?
Mm-hmm. I remember you telling me about it, but like I wasn't there when it happened.
Obviously I didn't win.
It's a drone, James. You can't. I mean, I guess I don't know.
So I got two things.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that I ever, thought about putting on my bucket list, but something that I've been wanting to do, or at least try to do, is creative sport. Because my whole life I've wanted to, I won't say wanted to own a basketball team, but I've always wanted to make enough money that maybe I could try to own a basketball team. Mm-hmm. But I think that club is very exclusive, and even if I got to that point, there's probably other things behind the scenes that probably would not let me. So maybe the better option is to try to create your own sport, your own league, and then maybe. So that's
you want to basketball it.
We're not doing that. Nope. I'm trying to do something completely, but I don't want it to be.
I mean, not that sport, but like you want to do what they did. Like you just want to create a different sport.
Yeah, and I mean, hockey has its fandom.
Don't give them your ideas.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying I just don't want it to be obscure like curling or Yeah, I want it to be like a genuine watch sport.
So would you? Okay, well that makes me that brings up a question. So like, with whatever sport you create, would you want it to be like? So there's three options. Would you want it to be just like a general sport that you play with friends and people that like maybe it becomes big in the city or whatever? Or would you want it to be like recognized on like a national scale? Or would you want it to be just like an Olympic thing that happens every 4 years where like we do this one sport?
I definitely don't want it to be an Olympic thing because that's the obscure ones. Obscure ones that people don't really talk about. I want it to be nationwide, but I know it has to start one place. So I was thinking, if I was to do the basketball thing, like maybe, build a gym here, build a gym maybe in another city somewhere else, and then just have just traveling, and then have your statisticians, and then I wouldn't go so far as to say like basketball cards, but just build. But the problem, it's going to start with like family coming and all this stuff, word of mouth, but I just don't see it. It would have to have something to make it stand out, because if it's just this let's just say
you combine into
you going to play basketball. I mean that's but like if you have a 4-point line, if you had lowered the rim, because I was thinking of maybe having like different leagues, different So, if we did have women, and I was thinking about, and I'm not trying to say I'm the first person to think about this, but have I call it a 9-up league for some reason. I think it was because just lowering the rim to 9 anyway. So just kind of experimenting with things that maybe the NBA or WNBA doesn't want to do. So 4-point line, the lowering the rim. I thought about some other things, but it's been a long time. I forgot about them all.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day with these guys. It was at a commercial. I think it was a commercial with these guys. I think it was a beer commercial. And they was going to play basketball. They had the guy lower the rim, and they was just dunking on this low rim or whatever. I think I also saw a video where these guys were playing like a game on like a low rim too.
And that's where that one idea came from that I'm not going to talk about on here.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that I was, I forgot it already. So I was talking about the sports. Oh, all right. So I've been trying to think of a way to quantify greatest of all time basketball wise. And, there's always the debate, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, blah, 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 blah. And the two, if you had to think about the two biggest accolades that would contribute to somebody being the greatest of all time, what are those two things?
Probably the championships and consistency.
Okay. Championships definitely, and I was like, you can't quantify. Well, you could quantify consistency. Actually, I'm gonna get to that. But MVPs, those are the two that I feel like are the biggest things. So the consistency thing, obviously, there are people who have won many rings. Mm-hmm. The first person. I mean, there's other people, but the one that comes to my mind is Robert Horry. Now, Robert Horry has won 7 rings, no MVPs. Like he's just a role player. But he's won more rings than Michael Jordan. So how do we eliminate him from, GOAT status as opposed to Michael Jordan? And that's where the MVPs come in. So that, to me, that's kind of the consistency thing. Go ahead.
I had a thought, but I was going to wait till you finish.
Okay. So my thing is, let's say, everybody can agree on championship rings. So one championship ring is worth 10 points. That's just, I haven't written
Just
this
an
down.
example.
Yeah. So let's say one championship ring is worth 10 points. The second championship ring is worth 5 points. Next one is worth 1 point. Unless you have an MVP. If you have an MVP, so the first one's worth 10, the next one's worth 5. But if you have an MVP, then that second one is also worth 10. Mm-hmm. If you have a third one, instead of it being 1, if you have 2 MVPs, then that third one's also worth 10.
Okay.
So that's a way to kind of, the consistency thing. Go ahead.
No, I was just because you were talking about why Horry gets thrown out, even though he has more rings than Michael Jordan. And I was gonna say, I mean, because he's big shot Rob, right?
That is it. Yep.
But he makes 1 or 2 big shots, like like Jordan was like scored majority of the points.
Yeah.
It was like big shots. Like, hey, I'm gonna hit this one shot.
Exactly.
We win.
Listen, I personally, I would I put him? I like Robert Horry, and I think because I am biased,
I would have him on my team.
that's what I was going to say. Hall of Fame, but I know. If I take a step back and look objectively, he's not a Hall of Fame player. But I just like him that I would probably put him.
But here's the thing: whether or not he was a pivotal point, like an important piece of the team winning or not. Mm-hmm. He still has 7 rings.
Yeah.
You have to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
He can't not be in the Hall of Fame and have 7 rings. Right? That's like, it's not a 1-for-1. Because I'm about to say movies get snubbed all the time for awards. So.
Either you are very, very lucky, or you are doing something to really contribute.
Yeah, I mean, but even if he, well, I'm gonna say if he was on the bench. But like, let's say he wasn't big shot Rob, and he just was on the team, and he hit some good shots here and there, but they weren't like big shots. Like he made like a nice layup here or hit these these free throws or whatever. He still got 7 rings.
Yeah, and back when I was doing research, there's players that played with Bill Russell who don't have 11 rings, but like there's one I think maybe has 10 or 9 rings. Like there's some, but they're also in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So again, like if you have that many rings, it's probably for a reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're doing something, man. Like, cause it's especially like if you And I mean, and this is going into the deep of it, but like even in like football, like let's say you're on the team, but you're not necessarily in the starting lineup, but your team wins like 4 NFL, championships or whatever.
Yep.
But you're a part of like the practice squad. Mm-hmm. So like essentially you're not on the field helping them win per se,
right? But
you're helping the starters practice and hone their skills.
Exactly.
So when you do go to the big game, so it's like we may not see what you did, but you still helped.
There was some you definitely contributed.
So it's like, do we just cancel him out because he wasn't on the field for real?
Darko Milicic has a ring. Mr. Was he number 1 overall?
I don't know.
I think he was. Or number 2. Anyway, yeah. That goes to show you how. Anyway, so just some other things to think about. Some things that I wanted to disqualify, but I think I'm going to have to just because LeBron James is leading in points and he's 40,000, and that's pretty. Even if it was never significant, I won't say never. Even if it wasn't as significant before, it's significant now, and people are using that for LeBron's case to be GOAT. So I can't just ignore it.
Okay, for the record, I'm not trying to take it away from him. The man scored 40,000 points. However, he's been in the league since he was 16, 17, whatever. But in my thought process is like, okay, if I beat everybody else for the most points and whatever, right? And from that point on, like, does it really matter if I hit a certain number?
That's true.
You know what I mean? I'm not diminishing the accolade because 40,000 points is still 40,000 points, but it's not like you're reaching to beat anybody else. Like you're just adding numbers now. It's like
at some point it's like I know it when he stops. It's going to be like the next milestone. So
right.
So I guess in a way it's like how many points can he total up to the point. Like, because the more it makes it more out of reach for other people.
I guess which to your point, I agree. I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, it's a great achievement, but like, okay, you pass everybody. Are we gonna celebrate you every 10,000 points now?
I see.
You're like, oh, he made 50.
Yeah.
Oh, he got to 60. Because like you beat everybody.
Because that is one statistic they keep saying. He's the youngest person. Excuse me. He's the youngest to reach 1,000. He was the youngest to reach 2,000. He was young. I was like, we get the point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because when he broke the record, like in my mind, I'm thinking like, all right, cool. He broke. Like, that's great. Props to you. You broke the record. I didn't expect to hear anything else about it. Oh, he got 40,000 points.
All right.
Cool. I mean, he already had 30 something.
Yeah.
Like he was gonna get there eventually.
I will say there's one thing that I'm just like, who cares? So. It seems like almost every year now, maybe every 2 years, this person signed the biggest contract in NBA history.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
So right now it's Jaylen Brown, which I like Jaylen Brown, but it's like because everybody's contracts are going up. Yeah. Somebody's going to sign this. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't really care about that. I mean, that doesn't tell me anything.
It's not like so. Okay, I'm gonna say this, then we can move on. The NBA, so they implemented some rules now, and one of the things they said was that you have to use all of your cap space. So you can't. I can't remember what the specific rules are, but for the teams like the Detroit Pistons, the Charlotte Hornets. I was gonna say Bobcats, but all these teams that may have one good player and a whole bunch of players that that you have to pay these players. And I don't like that. That's stupid because if you I'm not going to say obviously these people have potential, but it's like you were really limiting what I can do in the future because all these players who like the Hornets or whatever. They have all these young players who that may not amount to anything, but I've got all this money wrapped up in them. I don't like it, and I don't remember why I brought this up.
But here's a flip side to it though. Like I get what you're saying as far as like if you're forcing us to use all of our cap space to the point to where we can't go out and make any kind of accusations or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Like, I get that. That makes sense. However, if we have all this cap space and we've had it for years and we haven't done anything, pay the people. Pay the players. Pay the players.
I can understand that, but
you've been sitting on money for 3 years. Just pay the players.
If you have a whole bunch of Boban Marjanoviches and I gotta pay him $20 million, $30 million,
pay him.
He's not worth it.
But what are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do with the money?
I could use that.
Have you been?
I understand. I understand.
Have you been?
Okay.
Like, I can understand your case. Like, I'm saying as if like you're over the Hornets. Yeah. But like, I can understand your case if your thinking is like, okay, we're planning to do something next year, mm-hmm. or we're getting together this year to prepare to get somebody for next year. Cool. But if you don't have any plans and you've been sitting on this money for 3-4 years,
that's true.
Just pay the players.
That's true, because otherwise you're I don't want to pocket in the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Like, I can get it from the standpoint of, like, if you're actively thinking about doing something or you got plans, but what have you heard about the Hornets trying to get anybody? No. When was the last time they acquired anybody?
I think so. I think they're trying to do parity in the NBA. That's the whole reason I think they're doing this. Is you got that second tax apron where it's like, if you go over this, then you can't use like first round picks. There's a lot of things that go with it, but if you are allocating all this money to all these players, then you can't form super teams. And they're like, okay, well, this player can't sign there, so then they have to go to the Portland Trailblazers or something like that. Mm-hmm. So but you put in another perspective. So
yeah, I mean, but even though I was playing, I hate to call it devil's advocate. Even though I'm playing both sides, I get your point of, like, if I have a LaMelo Ball and I have a whole bunch of, like, whoever's, mm-hmm. like, why am I going to pay them the same amount of money I'm playing LaMelo Ball? I get it. But, like, from the league's standpoint, it's like y'all just banking money to do nothing with it. Like, yeah. Even though these players are not LaMelo Ball, they still are NBA players. They should get something. Give them some money, Because I hear what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying. You're talking trash about the rest of them. But could you beat them?
No. I mean, I understand, but
they're still in the NBA, James.
I can't force the Hornets to go get Zion Williamson or something.
No. But you also have to look at it. You also have to look at it from this perspective too. Like, and maybe you agree or disagree. Like, there's, even back in the day up until now, there's always going to be a crop of players that are better than the others. Yeah. But the others, just because the others are others, doesn't mean they're trash. It's just, if I'm trying to think of a trash player, give me a trash player.
Killian Hayes.
If I'm Killian Hayes, yeah. Of course I'm gonna look trash playing against LeBron. Yeah. Like, if I'm playing against, Paul George or Dame Lillard or Giannis, like, I'm not gonna look great. But you let me play against another Killian Hayes, we're gonna look about the same.
Listen, all right. So for some reason, I don't know. I'm sure you remember this name, Dante Exum.
Yeah. Is it EXUM?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's on the Mavericks and he's not doing bad. You want to know what pisses me off?
Mm-hmm.
I never liked him. I never liked him as a player. I thought he was garbage. Now he's on my team and he's doing well. And I feel like I shouldn't feel like I want him to do bad. But can you do this on somebody else's team? Like, I don't want you on the Mavericks.
You don't want him to do good on the Mavericks? You want him to be bad on the Mavericks?
No, I want him to be okay somewhere else.
Because you don't like him?
I don't like him. I don't know. I'm sure there's like a player who, and maybe not now, but at some point that you didn't like.
That I did not like?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a hot take. I feel like I've told you this before. There was a player that I did not like, but I respected his talent.
Mm-hmm. Who's that?
Kobe Bryant. I hated Kobe.
I can understand that, and you know, being from Chicago and the Jordan thing, I've always rooted against Kobe.
I didn't root against him. I just was like, I couldn't stand him. For some reason, I don't know what it was about him. I just did not like Kobe. But at the same time, I was like, when he dropped 60,
Yes.
I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like,
Yep.
that's Kobe.
Yep.
Like, I can't tell you the amount of excitement I had when AI played the Lakers in the finals and they won their first game. I was like, oh, what? And then they got washed the rest of the series.
Yep.
But after that first game, I was like, oh, boy. Especially because I really liked AI too.
This is it.
I was like, yeah, this is my boy. This is my boy. Yeah.
We knocked them down.
And then the game 2 through 4.
Yep.
And 5.
Same thing with Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd is I don't know how I feel about him as a coach.
So I remember when, you know, he was available to be coach, and you know, Rick Carlisle and the Mavericks decided to part ways. And I was like, they're going to hire Jason Kidd, and I do not. It pissed me off because I didn't want, like they said that Jason Kidd was doing so horribly as the Bucks coach. I'm like, don't bring that to the Mavericks. Mm-hmm. But the Mavericks never do anything they should do, so I knew they were going to do it, and sure enough, it happened.
But here's the reason why I don't know about him as a coach. Like, I'm trying to get it, like Steve Kerr. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, cause okay, for the record, majority of the times, and this is just me, I can't speak for you. Mm-hmm. Majority of the times, I don't really see what coaches really do other than like adjust game plans throughout the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't watch the practices, mm-hmm. But when I watch the Warriors play, I can clearly see, oh, this is something Steve Kerr came up with. I don't know why, I don't know how, I just can. Yeah. But because of Jason Kidd, like, I don't know what he does. All I know is I see him in the post game, like, yeah, man, you know, we tried, went out there, we played. Like, well, what did you do, Jason? What did you do? What did you really do?
I don't know, but if the team is not doing well, it's always the coach's fault.
And which is another thing too, because it's kind of like, as a coach, like I can only coach so much. I can draw up a play, I can tell you, mm-hmm. I can develop whatever. But when it comes game time, whatever happens, that's on y'all. I can't
make those shots go in.
Yeah, like I can't tell you. I mean, I can tell you to make that pass. Obviously, I can yell it, but you may not hear it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, just because I'm telling you to pass it doesn't always mean that's the best pass, because I can't see everything that you see. I'm just going based off as a coach. But, you know, it's...
You can't make them play defense. It's almost like they're the coach's children, because you can't, you know, you can punish them. All right, you got to do laps because you didn't do such and such, but you can't force them to do what you want them to do.
No, you can't. But yeah, but like I said, I have no evidence to say Jason Kidd is a bad coach. I have no evidence to say he's a good coach. Mm-hmm. I just know he's a coach.
I know the Mavericks, you know, so, all right, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
So when the Mavericks, you know, got Kyrie Irving.
You was all on board.
No, hell no. I was like, this is not going to work at all. And, you know, the first season, I say half season, it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So this year, you know, they had been doing good, but after the All-Star break, they've been doing bad. Now, I got into a debate with people on Instagram. So I kind of, even though this is my favorite team, part of me wants them to do bad, so I still win that debate.
Okay, in your opinion, why do you think it's not working after the All-Star break?
I do want to say one thing, that I do want the team to do well, because Luka Doncic has expressed that he may want to trade if the Mavericks don't, you know, improve the team.
I'm gonna say my thoughts to you.
And part of that, you know, I don't want to see Luka go, but I know star point guards as a number one isn't the way to go. So why? I obviously it's not. I don't want to say it's not Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie has been doing a good job of keeping his head down, not mm-hmm. causing any kind of trouble.
He's actually coming to games to play too.
Exactly. I love it. So like, kudos, props to him. But I just thought that it was a matter of time, because again, the Mavericks don't do, and you know, they made a trade for PJ Washington, and I didn't think it was a bad trade, mm-hmm. but they always avoid. I can't say that because they traded for Kyrie Irving, but they usually avoid the big name trades. They're always trying to get, and maybe it's analytics, but like this shooter here to complement this person. And sure, you should be trying to complement Luka Doncic, but. And I know they have Kyrie Irving. A second star would be ideal. Now, let me talk about Kyrie Irving. One, like I said, point guards being your number one is not going to win you a championship. Obviously, Steph Curry is an outlier. Before that, maybe it's Magic Johnson. Anytime before that, you had failures like Allen Iverson,
Isaiah Thomas,
Jason Kidd. Well, okay, he's before, but
he's around the time of Magic.
Yeah. Okay, all right. You make a good point. But what I'm saying is point guards are typically as being the number one, and of course people will say Allen Iverson is maybe a number two. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You have 2 point guards on your team, and sure you can argue that Luka is versatile. He can play all these different positions. Who knows if you want to say the Kyrie or whatever. But my point is that your stars are 1 and 2. Kyrie Irving should be a 3 or 4. I won't go ahead and say a 5 because I think, even though, you know what, as a matter of fact, no, because centers are like big nowadays. All the MVPs, the last 5 MVPs have been centers. So, I take that back. Giannis is a power forward, but big men. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I think you wanted to say something.
I have a point, but I'm waiting.
Okay, so the reason. It just comes down to the Mavericks not doing what they should do, and that's to pair Luka with somebody that complements him, and another guard is not it.
Okay, valid point. I would accept that.
Okay.
My additional point, I'm not gonna say it's a counterpoint. My additional point would be, no matter who you pair Luka with, Luka needs to give up the ball. Luka can't beat everybody scoring 40 points a game. He needs to share.
So one thing, the way that I agree, I completely agree with you. So the way I'm looking at Luka, his career can go one of 2 ways. He can be Michael Jordan or he can be James Harden. So Michael Jordan, when he first started, he was putting up all these different, like all the accolades that you have of Michael Jordan was before. When he was winning championships. So if Luka can, he's breaking all these records, he's doing all this stuff, and then if they can get to the point where they can give him a competent roster and then he starts playing team ball, then he can have a career somewhat like Michael Jordan. Or, the Mavericks keep giving him these crappy rosters, then he just going to keep on putting up these numbers and be James Harden.
Because the thing about Luka is this, like, I'm not even saying he needs to just have less points per game. Like I'm cool with him doing like a 30 a game. However, it's not even just the fact that he has this. I'm not saying this is what he feels. It's just what it seems like. He has to score 30 plus points in order for them to win. It's not even just that. It's the fact of like he doesn't get an easy 30.
That's true.
He has to work hard to get 30 points. But if he had some comparable pieces around him, he still can get 30, but it could be an easier 30 because now you got people that could work with him. He can share the ball, do whatever. But like he ain't got to dribble for 5 minutes. 2 points.
I wonder if he. I mean, obviously, like I said, he said that he wants to have a better roster, so he wants to be able to share the ball. He wants to be able to share the load, but. I wonder if in the past, maybe the people he didn't think was up to par, so maybe he's like, I have to do it this way.
Was it that they weren't up to par, or was it that he didn't get along with the people?
I know he didn't get along with Kristaps. So that's one thing that we don't know. We don't know, the behind the scenes, so it could be. I mean, obviously, if he didn't get along with Kristaps, it's possible he didn't get... I know he didn't get along... Towards the end, he didn't get along with Rick Carlisle, because that did come out.
What about Dinwiddie?
Good question. I don't know about that, but I know when Dinwiddie went back to the Nets, something happened. I can't remember what it was. I know he started beefing with Kyle Kuzma, but that's unrelated.
Yeah. All I know is he didn't get along with Kristaps. Granted, Kristaps wasn't playing the best, but as you can clearly see with him on the Celtics, he still has potential.
Yeah.
So you could have made it work.
I will admit, when he went to the Celtics, I did not think there was going to be a positive. I thought he was going to be crap over there.
Well, I didn't think that, and the reason why I didn't think that was because I feel like for Kristaps, when he went to the Celtics, him being the third person, it takes a lot of pressure off of him. So now he's not expected to be the man. So he can just be the third best scorer on the team behind Jalen and Tatum, whatever. As opposed to when he went to like the Wizards or when he was with the Knicks, everybody was like, oh, that's the unicorn. He's got to do 30 points, 10 blocks, 50 rebounds. Like, you just go on a team and just beat Kristaps and just play and not have that pressure.
Yep. Not everybody, and sure, he wasn't the number one on the Mavericks, but not everybody can be a number 1 or 2 option.
It's the same thing with Poole. Like,
yes,
he's learning now. Like, bro, like you are a glorified 6th man. Like, yeah, he was in the start lineup sometimes with the Warriors, to help them win the championship or whatever. But for the most part, like, he came off the bench and he did his thing. And that's what now they put him on the bench. He come off the bench, doing pretty good. But when he's out there trying to carry the team, trying to be Mr. And One, didn't work out.
Yeah.
So
I've got one more question about basketball.
Go ahead.
There's one thing that people love to say about LeBron was that his first stint in Cleveland, he was taking all these. He was carrying the team on his back because he had a bunch of bums.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't have it both ways. Like, you can't have him carrying a bunch of bums and him making his teammates better. Like, did he make his teammates better or were they bums? Because they were seasons where they were winning. They had considerably more wins than losses.
But you got to look at the reasons for them winning, though.
Okay.
If a big percentage of that was LeBron, then he was carrying bums. But if they were winning because let's say for instance like Luka, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say they win 30 games, but Luka scores 30 points every game and the next person scores 12, right? Yep. So obviously Luka's carrying the team. But if LeBron is doing that, he's carrying the team. But let's say LeBron gets 20 points and somebody else gets like 20, somebody else gets like 18, somebody gets like 19. Okay, he made him better. But if his stats are just that much higher than everybody on the team the whole season while they're winning, he's carrying them.
I'm going to have to go back and look, but, okay, so I was going to say one person, we all know one person can't win, can't beat another team, mm-hmm. But the fact that they made it to the finals, they can't be bums.
Well, here's the thing about basketball that, like, I feel like a lot of people don't realize or that forget too. I guess sports in general, anything can happen. You also have to factor in like different things happen to different teams throughout the playoffs as well.
That's true.
Like, for instance, I know what's the name, Kyrie Irving was doing like a press conference and he was talking about how like he feels like if he didn't get hurt when he was with the Nets, they could have went further than they did.
Yep.
Who knows? That could have very well happened.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Stuff like that happens. I don't remember every team that the Cavaliers played during that year they went to the finals. And I'm not saying that's what happened to them. All I'm saying is like, you never know. I mean, could have just had a string of just good games where it was like, okay, all right, and but the other side of the coin too is like, just because the team has bums don't mean you can't have good bums. Like if I'm LeBron and I give you 37 points and these other bums combined for 40, because you got to think too, at that time a lot of threes weren't really a big thing. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think you really saw a game around that time where the final score was like 130 to 127.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like back then it was like maybe 101 to 87 or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a lot of people standing outside. I mean, you had 3-point shooters, but it wasn't a big thing for real. Nowadays, I don't know if they would have went with everybody shooting threes the way they shoot now.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts. Then again, this is going on based off memory. I don't remember a lot. I just remember He didn't have a lot of good people on his team.
So the ones I remember, Zajurna Sagauskas, maybe Drew Gooden.
Drew Gooden was decent.
I know Delonte West at one point, and there's I don't know if it's Marvin Williams. I know it's a short, dark guy. But yeah, it's been a while.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. Who did they play in the finals?
Spurs.
Oh, yeah, they weren't winning that.
Yeah.
Could told you that.
Swept them too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a LeBron hater, but he got swept twice in the final. Anyway.
I mean, that holds a high weight to you, I guess.
That is one thing. All right, so this is how I feel. If you're the GOAT, if you make your teammates better, if you were number one or number two, you can win one game. Like I don't see how you can not win one game.
Like you said, if you make your teammates better.
But I will say, okay, so I will say, and I don't even know if they got swept that year, but that one year, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving were gone. I can understand that. Like that's pretty much all year.
Those are two big hits.
Yeah. So I can't remember if that's the year that they got swept. But if you got most of your roster, you can get one game.
Yeah. I got one final question. I guess we can end it on this.
Okay.
Speaking of injuries, you think the Knicks will go pretty far this year?
I don't.
With all the injuries they got?
There are so many teams that I never have faith in. No, I don't think the Knicks are going far. That being said, for the last, I know I said this before, the last three years, there's always been a team that nobody expects to make it to the finals. So you never know.
You know who I want to see in the finals?
Don't say Clippers. Don't you do it.
Obviously the Celtics are going to get there.
Okay.
The only other team I can see coming out of the East would probably be the Bucks if they got their their crap together. And Milwaukee is West, right?
No, the East.
East. I thought they were West. I don't know why I thought they were West. When I take that back there.
You said no. I thought you just said the East. They said coming out the East, the Bucks.
I'm thinking Minnesota.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Minnesota.
So Minnesota is West.
Yeah, I get the M's.
Yeah.
So I want to see Minnesota and Boston.
Interesting.
Minnesota's playing this year, man. I ain't gonna say. I'm not saying they're championship.
No,
like contender playing, but they're playing.
So I feel there's just teams that no matter how well they're doing, I just don't see them. So the Kings, what was the team, the Utah Jazz that were doing it like the couple of years that they were first.
I feel like the Kings need another piece or two.
Yeah, but last year they were like.
Oh yeah, they were. So, I still think they're right there, but I feel like because other teams have shifted stuff around this year, so I feel like they kind of set them back a little bit. But they still they're not a team to disregard by no means.
So I want to see the Thunder, make it deep, but they don't have the experience. The Timberwolves, on the other hand, have the experience and they're doing just as well. So they could be that team that we don't expect to make it there.
Yeah.
The Celtics have proven they're not as bad as the 76ers because they obviously made it to the finals. But they have proven to not they underperform. Mm-hmm. So there was a couple of years where we're like, yeah, they're making it to the finals, or they have it on lock. One year they didn't make it to the finals, and then the one year that they were supposed to win in a semifinal, I don't know. I think they were playing against the Heat, and the Heat beat them. The play-in tournament Heat.
I mean, this playoff Jimmy, baby. Playoff Jimmy is another beast.
So I was going to say, you said the Bucks, and I know you're thinking of the Wolves, but the Celtics, you said Bucks, and I was like, you going to count the Heat?
I don't know. It just for me when it comes to the Heat, it just depends on
Jimmy Butler's haircut. Gotcha.
Yeah, that and it just depends on who they play. Yeah. Their path. So until I know who they play, like the first round or going forward, then I can be like, okay, I can see. But right now, because I don't know who they would play, because the season isn't over with yet, I don't know. But the Jimmy Buckets, man.
You counting out the Bulls, man. I can't.
Have y'all even had games this season? Have y'all been on TV this season at all?
Listen, the Bulls, I'm not saying that they're overperforming. But Kobe White, one, has a case. He had a case for most improved. He kind of slowed down. But the Bulls, they've been coming. What's the word? They've been winning some games.
Some important games.
No, they're not. They have. Like, I know they beat the Warriors. It was not.
It's the Warriors though, man.
But it was during when the Warriors, like, they were.
It's still the Warriors. They really on the they ain't on the radar this year like that.
They had some quality wins.
Mm-hmm.
They had some quality wins. They wasn't by much.
What number are y'all? I'm not being funny. I'm legit asking because I don't know.
Probably 9 or 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean, y'all still got because it was like 2-3 weeks left of the season.
Yeah, probably. I think we are 9. So the thing is that the past two times the Bulls were in the play-in, they lost. Yeah. So I don't have faith. I mean, I love DeMar DeRozan. I don't, to be honest, now that I think about it, I don't really care for anybody else. Alex Caruso. They got rid of. Anyway, we don't have to keep going.
The crazy thing about it is, like, I haven't even heard DeMar DeRozan's name this year for real.
Because last year he was king of the fourth quarter. And every now and then, like, he has had some good moments, but he's not in the forefront, like you're saying, like when he hit those two buzzer beaters.
Because, like, when I watch, like, First Take or whatever else, they don't really talk about DeMar. It just be like Lakers, Bucks, Celtics, Suns.
And my thing, I've never liked the Lakers, but why are y'all still talking about this 10th seeded team this night?
You know why, Jay?
Because it's the Lakers and LeBron, but it's like, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie. As much as I don't want the Lakers to win or want them to do well in the playoffs, I also can't deny. I don't know why I struggle with that sentence. The importance or the magnitude of a Lakers and Celtics finals. Oh, you talking about NBA history at its finest?
Do you think the Lakers have a chance?
I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
I don't, because the thing about the Lakers is, like, you don't know what you're gonna get from them.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So it's like, on one hand, I can see him be like, I don't think they do well, but then sometimes they have a game where I be like, I don't know, man. If they play like that, they could go on. I don't know. They're just inconsistent. LeBron isn't, but the rest of the team is.
So I made a post. I'm going to ask them, and then we can go ahead and go. So what are the chances? What's the possibility that this could happen? The Warriors, they trade Andrew Wiggins and Chris Paul to get a draft pick in this year's draft.
0.
The LeBron, he decides to opt out of his contract. The Warriors sign LeBron James Jr., Bronny.
0.
And LeBron signs with the Warriors.
0, 0, 0.
Okay, all right. I just thought I'd ask.
I mean, I'm curious to know what they say. I'm just telling you what I think. 0% on all of them. Once you said Wiggins and Paul, now if you just said Paul and somebody else, maybe. But Wiggins, I feel like even though Wiggins hasn't been playing the way he was, because I know he's been going through some kind of family stuff or whatever here lately, I don't think they're just ready to get rid of him yet. I feel like they're willing to give him another year or so to see what happens.
The alternative is LeBron James, somebody who is performing.
It's not coming, man. LeBron's not coming.
I think it's worth it because, I mean, one, obviously they are at the point where they have to, they keep having to choose between, still going with Steph Curry's prime, well, not his prime, but the years that he have left, or, start going with the younger people. So, obviously, I mean, Andrew Wiggins and Chris Paul aren't young, but this is like one last hoorah. Even though they said this was the last hoorah. LeBron James, one last hoorah.
It ain't happening.
I think it's worth a try. And if it doesn't happen, then all right, Steph, we got to pack it
Well,
up.
I'm not disagreeing with it being worth a try. I'm saying it's not going to happen.
Okay.
That's my say. I don't think it will happen. Now, is it something that you should look into and worth trying? By all means, yes. But is it going to happen? No.
Now, whose legacy would it hurt more? Would it hurt Steph's legacy more or LeBron's legacy more? Or whose would it help more? I won't just say it's going to be all negative.
It depends on what happens.
What do you mean? Like, okay, so
if LeBron comes over and they don't win, it's going to hurt both of them.
I was going to say, so let's say that he does come over and they do win.
It's going to build both of them up.
You think so?
Because they're both already great.
But, you know, one, you've already had the Kevin Durant come over here, and two of the rings were, you know, cheating because they built the super team.
Yeah, but Kevin came before he had rings. LeBron already has rings. Steph already has rings. They just combine the rings to get another ring.
So that would be considered a negative. Because now it's like, again, y'all are kind of forming a super team, the greatest of all time with the greatest shooter of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are teaming up to, this is who... Again, so Steph, you got LeBron, you had KD, now you're getting LeBron. LeBron, you couldn't beat Steph, now you had to join them to get rings. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, but LeBron would be coming over because the difference is KD came because he couldn't beat them. LeBron wouldn't be coming because he could. LeBron beat them already.
He did.
So he's not coming because I couldn't beat y'all. He's just coming because, hey, you want a ring? I want a ring? Let's do it together. KD came because, oh, y'all beat us. I'm going to come join you the next season.
I'm just saying, you know, I think some people are going to see it negatively.
Oh, a lot of people not going to like it. A lot of people are going to hate against it. But, I mean, it wouldn't be, the motive to me, in my mind, wouldn't be, oh, well, we couldn't beat each other, so let's join up. It's just being like, hey, I want to play with LeBron. I want to play with Steph. All right, let's go do it. And then if y'all get Bryant Jr., it's just icing on the cake. I still don't think he's going to be it. I don't know. I said LaMelo Ball wasn't going to make it in the league, but he's doing pretty decent.
You didn't think he would?
No, I didn't think he was going to be as great as he is. You know what I mean? I thought he was just going to be like, yeah, okay, he scores 97 points in a high school game.
Right.
That's cool. But you playing against other, you know, you're not playing against LeBron or whatever, but he came in the league. I was like, Rookie of the Year or whatever. I was like, okay.
And then he was cherry picking the whole time.
I was like, all right.
So I know we keep saying that we don't go. So how do you feel? Because, you know, the common denominator of both the Ball brothers is that they all, you know, came from the Big Baller brand shoes, and now they're both kind of got a lot of injuries. Do you feel they are related? Okay.
Because they don't really wear Big Baller brand shoes.
I know Lonzo did. He used to.
Yeah, but he switched. And LaMelo
At that point, the damage was
switched
done.
as well.
At that point, the damage, for Lonzo at least, the damage were done. Because he said that he had to, you know, switch shoes because after each quarter.
I don't know. When the third brother comes, we'll see how you do.
I'm so glad that story is done because every year I got tired. Oh, hey, D'Angelo's in the league now. No, he's not. He just signed a 10-day contract or a summer league contract. He was never in the league.
He coming.
You can find me on Instagram, HAPPEE_MILLS. We also have a YouTube, big and short of it all.
That you are currently watching.
Yeah, and please like and subscribe. I know it's kind of late.
You can find me watching LeAngelo Ball in the NFL. I mean, in NBA. I'm sorry, and in the NFL because he can do both. Mm-hmm. He's also a tennis player.
Badminton.
You ever heard of this game called netball?
I don't. Like you said something slam ball. I was thinking of like that table where you have to slam it. And no, I don't know.
I'll show you after this.
Okay.
You can find me on Instagram at DA_Bear BEAR 29. Big and short of it, TikTok as well. I think that's it. Yeah. You didn't say? Oh, yeah, and Instagram. I thought you. I was too busy thinking about my LeAngelo Ball line. Because he plays NBA, NFL, and MLB. Mm-hmm. He's a left fielder.
You'll see him in the Olympics this year, too.
Mm-hmm. Curling.
Yes.
All of that. Floor gymnastics.
Javelin.
Mm-hmm. Archery.
Discus.
Skiing. Pole vaulting. Mm-hmm. Snowboarding. X Games. You know what? He can do it all.
He's a new Chuck Norris?
He's not the new Chuck Norris. But you know who he is the new person of? Who? He's the new Bob Ross. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank y'all for listening.